Hello, 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 devoted moms out there. It is Thursday, October 10th. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Regina.
Hey, Tasha, how are you, sweetie?
I am fantastic. I'm doing really, really well. How about you?
Good. Congratulations. In just a few hours, 8 years ago, you would have been in a little bit of pain, but you have great product, girl. Great product.
I did. Actually, he was born 8 minutes ago. 8 minutes ago, 8 years ago.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, my little
Oh,
boy.
wow.
So
That's
shout
awesome.
out. Shout out to Kenneth Jr. He was super excited to make 8 and looking forward to his party and all that comes with it. And he's a pretty awesome kid. So happy birthday, buddy.
I know. Happy birthday, KJ, my little godson, also known as the Rain Boy. He's so darn intelligent. It's just incredible the amount of information his little brain holds. And
Yeah,
so,
he told us today we were talking about video games because that's his biggest thing. And
okay.
so he received one video game from one of his grandparents today. So he was very excited that he wouldn't have to spend his own money on that game. So then he was like, so now I can get the something or other 2014 when it comes out. So Kenny was like, oh, I don't know. Is it out yet? I don't know if it's out yet. And he goes, oh yeah, it came out on October 1st. And we were like, oh, and he also knows release dates of video games. That's nice.
And what is the ISBN number?
Right,
The
exactly.
patent?
Exactly. So,
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Indira is right on his heels. She's on
yep,
a countdown to 8. And it's funny because the 8 is really meaning a lot. I don't know if it's because right now she is in fact 2 years younger than her sister. And then
right,
November 1st, she becomes only 1 year younger than her sister. I think she's still holding
right.
out that at some point she will pass her. I keep telling her it's not going to happen, but, why,
No,
keep hope alive, baby. Keep hope alive.
what do you do? And you know
So
what
the
I
most,
love? Around this time, it always reminds me too of the incredible connection that you and I have, and things that happened that we didn't plan, that
mm.
happened. And so, devoted moms, just to kind of give you an idea, my husband and I will be celebrating 10 years on November 1st. And on that day in Jamaica was when Regina shared with me for the first time that she was pregnant with her first child.
hmm
And they had a rough go of trying to get her out into this earth. So it was such a joyous occasion. And I love that she waited to tell me on the day of my wedding. And then 2 years later, on my anniversary, Indira was born. And so it's like, even if we didn't want to be connected anymore, you know what I mean? Even if we were like, I'm not going to be your friend anymore, we have this connection for the rest of our life, and our kids have this
Right.
connection for the rest of their lives. We have set it up where they can't not be, in each other's lives, and I just think that's so awesome.
I know. It's part of how we've done life together, and
Right.
I have no doubt that we'll just keep on celebrating these special, moments, and they'll
Right.
continue to connect and weave because we're both committed to that. I think
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
also I think it's also really funny too that you were trying for KJ.
Right.
Indira, I think I was vicariously so empathetic and supportive that
I know. Best friends pregnant at the same time, not planned. I mean, that's so
crazy.
cool.
And remember, I thought I had cancer. I thought I was dying because
Yeah.
we did
She thought
fertility
she had cancer,
Sims,
guys.
and
Yeah.
I really thought something was drastically wrong. And here's my best friend is
Yep.
expecting a baby, and I'm trying to figure out am I dying? And it was
Yeah. She
Indira.
thought she was dying. hmm And had me
Dramatic.
worried for like 2 hours. I'm like, hurry up and call me from your doctor's appointment. Are you dying? Do I need to fly to Baltimore? I'm about to have,
Right. I know.
I
I
remember that.
know. I know. And I wonder where my dramatic girls get it from. It's nothing like the mirror of your children to
Right.
say, yeah, that's you right there. You just don't see it from
Yep.
your angle.
Exactly.
But thank goodness I wasn't. I did have. It was also fun sharing the pregnancy with you. It
Right.
was also fun that when I had Indira, you and KJ came shortly after to hang out with us. And
That
so,
was fun.
who could have planned it better? Who could have planned it better?
Yep.
So,
Only him.
devoted moms, I hope that you are enjoying hanging out with us on Thursdays, just finding out about. I don't think we're anything special. I think that we're unique, but we're definitely enjoying spending and now doing life with you all over the world. And so today we've got a special treat. As you know, Tasha and I are both very committed to wellness. And when we think wellness, we definitely think above the collar. And so we want to make sure that we are being informed by a practitioner and also a dear friend and someone who is also committed to just the health of our communities. And so we've got Dr. Berry on with us today. And so, Dr. Berry, I want to welcome you to our conversation. And to Devoted Moms, you are officially a regular segment with us.
And I look forward to it.
Yes.
I look forward.
And so today's topic, we're going to talk a little bit about stress management. I mean, there's lots going on right now with the government shutdown and whatever this debt ceiling thing means. I don't mean to make it look unimportant. It just means that I'm a little bit more ignorant about it. Because I think I reach my debt ceiling every day almost.
Right? Got our own debt ceiling to worry about.
I'm like, I got a deck on top of my debt ceiling. I decorate up there. I go up there and lay out.
I got a deck rooftop.
So we really do want to support our families, and because we have moms who are listening from all over. We used to have a little bit more information on where people are watching us, and we have known that folks as far as Norway and was it Guatemala? I think we had a listener.
Guatemala, Canada.
And so we recognize that even though the U.S. right now is having this huge impact of what's going on with the government, that stress management and building up techniques that help us survive the challenges of life is important. And so, Dr. Berry, can you help us out as people are biting their nails? When are we going back to work? Am I going to be able to make that note? Do I start calling my debtors now, or do I let them call me?
Well, Regina, that stress is equivalent with that thing called life. And I don't think that I realized how stressful life really was. And I say, I think my parents did a really great job of masking things for me, because I did not really realize that problems existed the way that they do for adults. We have so many challenges that we face with regards to raising kids, trying to maintain a healthy marriage, trying to be working mothers. A lot of challenges come along with that. And I think that just as a part of being a mother, everybody requires, not just expects, requires mothers to be the glue that holds the entire family together. Not to minimize the fathers, but I noticed that our dogs will walk by everyone in the house and come to me when they've not been fed. And I said, wow,
I thought it was me. I thought I had bacon in my pocket or something.
You do, but that's not it.
Well, yeah, that too.
So, it's really important that as mothers, we learn to manage our stress. A lot of times we put a lot on our plate because other people are going to put things on our plate. But sometimes we put some things on our plates as well. And so we think that our kids have involved in every activity, that we've got to be on every committee for our sororities, our churches, every other organization that's, and sometimes we have to learn how to just say no, because if we don't get to that point, our bodies will begin to tell us, our bodies will begin to break down on us.
Right.
So, tips that we need to put in place for ourselves that start with, of course, our physical health. You know, looking at your diet. Are you drinking enough water? Are you getting some form of exercise? And, you know, I'm the first one to tell people I don't like the gym, and the gym does not like me. So I have to find things that I'm willing to do. You know, other people will say, oh, well, that's not me. That's not in my spirit. But I like to dance. So I found some line dancing class.
Zumba. I mean, Zumba is nothing but dancing.
Exactly. But I'm exercising, and I don't feel like I'm exercising. So you got to figure out what it is that works for you, not what works for everybody else. So, you know, looking at your diet, you know, I had developed a friendship with red wine last year for the very first time. And that friendship was not going very well because I was packing on pounds and did not realize it and kept raising the glass saying, my new best friend is red wine. So after I had 15 pounds and didn't realize it, I said, okay, I've got to end this relationship immediately. So, you know, it's been a challenge. But it's something that I had to decide was not working in my life for where I am at this point on the journey. Because as our bodies are changing, we've got to change what we're doing to manage stress, our weight, and everything. I am 4 away from 50. And I take that phrase from one of my very, very dear friends because she always says, you know, I'm 2 away from 50, so I'm 4 away from 50. And what I was able to do at 35, I can't do at 46. And that has hit me like a ton of bricks. So in addition to trying to manage our physical health, we've also got to manage our mental health. Because when you reach a certain age, as women, our stress turns into cortisol. And that's all that belly fat that you start to see develop, and you're looking like, okay, what is all of this that's going on? Well, it's coming from stress. And you can, you know, I always thought I managed stress pretty well. So my blood pressure is normally around 107 over 78, which is a great blood pressure. They say, you're so calm. And I say, no, I'm so not. But so I'm thinking I'm managing stress. But what I realize is that my body is saying, no, you're not. You're telling yourself you're managing the stress, but I'm going to show you, you're not really managing the stress. So that whole exercise piece and eating a more healthy diet is crucial to what we have to do as a big part of that. Taking some things off of your plate. You don't have to be on every committee. Your child does not have to be in every activity.
Right.
It's okay. The organizations can run without you. You don't have to always be the one that's there, because that's that piece of stress that we put on ourselves. And then just learning to say no to people. You know, you're going to offend people anyway. I don't care what you do, how nice you are to people, how considerate. At some point, you will create an offense against someone. So what better time to create an offense than when you're doing something for yourself?
Right. Well, Dr. Berry, one of the how do you transition that? How do you share that with the people around you that you really can't say no to? You know, like those, you got children that are older and their needs are different now. But particularly like as this whole government shutdown is happening, the kids are wondering what's going on. And I can imagine children whose parents are experiencing this at a much more personal level, that they're also sensing the stress from their parents. So how do we manage that?
One of the things, Regina, I think that a lot of families run into is that, and this is the piece that I was saying about my parents doing a really great job of sheltering me from some things, but because my family has experienced some things, when we started to experience life as adults, I wasn't ready for it. And I think that what we've chosen to do is you got to have some conversations with kids. Now, of course, they don't need to know every single thing, but there are certain children, you with
Uh-oh.
Oh, hey.
Sounds like the internet was experiencing some stress.
Yes, I think, and you know what? I wanted to mention something about that stress while we wait for her to come back. You mentioned something last week too about stress management and about the welcome back about the government shutdown. And what I liked about what you said, Regina, was taking this time to just enjoy it. Whether it's spending more time with your family, maybe going to your child's school for lunch and having lunch with them if it's something that you could never do. Because if it's something out of your control, you know, do what is do what you have control over. If there's anything that you can do, and then after that, take walks or go to the gym or do all those things that you said you can never do because you're at work all day. You know, and I know that's probably easier said than done, but I've, both my husband and I have experienced job loss. And, for example, when we experienced a job loss, we had a vacation that was already paid for. And instead of saying, oh, there's no way we can go on that now, we got all these issues. No, we still went on that vacation and actually had one of the best vacations we've ever had. Just because we still had to continue life and still do the things that could help with that stress level. And going on that vacation, we came back renewed and ready to, figure out what the next step was. So I thought that was great advice you gave last week, Regina, on that. What do you think about that, Dr. Berry?
Well, absolutely. I experience a lot of clients who start to have physical symptoms. I'm seeing a lot of anxiety. I'm seeing a lot of women in between a certain age who are having panic attacks. And so one of the things that I tell them is that when you start to experience stress and your body is physically experiencing stress, you have to change what you are doing physically. So if you are sitting down and you start to feel like you are having a panic attack, which is usually associated with some heart palpitations, sometimes your body starts to sweat, feel overheated, sometimes you may get chills. If you are sitting, you have to physically get up. You can walk around, but you need to change your posture. You need to go to a standing. If you are standing, you have to go and sit. So you physically have to do the opposite of whatever it is that you are currently doing. Because if you are up and you are moving and you start to have a panic attack, your body is saying you need to go sit down and calm down. So you got to learn to look out for these symptoms. And if you've never had one, it probably feels like you're having a heart attack. And you don't know what it is. You'll begin to your chest. And a lot of people end up in the emergency room saying, I think that I'm having a heart attack. And they'll say, no, it's probably just a panic attack. And a lot of women between their late 30s and early 50s are experiencing this. And they're experiencing it because it's associated with something else, perimenopausal symptoms, which are also related to stress. And a lot of symptoms associated with them are directly correlated to this perimenopausal era.
Great.
Wow, that's a very good point. And I just want to say, I want to take a moment to thank Sylvia Global for this opportunity to sit, one, with my best friend, and two, with our new friend, Dr. Berry, and just go over all of these things that women and devoted moms experience on an everyday level. So I definitely want to thank Sylvia Global for that opportunity.